And I can record. Okay. Super duper excited. So, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, I'm not going to be looking at you and making eye contact with
Okay.
you because my camera is down here, but the screen is up here because I'm using my
Okay.
laptop and all of that stuff. So, you can't really see me, but like I'm looking at you, okay? Like we're making eye contact, but we're not
Okay.
making eye contact. So, okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Nath Hughes here. In today's video, we have a testimony from Brianna, who, if you guys have watched my other testimonials, you would know that I worked with Brianna previously. I think it was like in 2021. It was in the fall
Yeah.
of 2021. So we worked together, got a great, amazing testimonial from her. She's been in a couple of my newest programs this year, and we worked together again not even a couple months ago. I think last month was the last month that we worked together. Is
Mhm.
that right? Yeah. So we just stopped working together again. I wanted to get on here and have a conversation with her about the results that she's been seeing from the work that we did together in personal coaching and our program. So that's where we are. And let's jump right into this. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is let's talk about the Love After Loss course because I don't think that we really have. We've talked about
Yeah.
the how to receive course. We've talked about the I can and I should. I know those are courses that you kind of go back to because you're doing things like with your, relationship with like God, but like your business and like all that
Mhm.
stuff. So those are the ones you kind of go to like most often. But can you talk about the Love After Loss course? I know that you are
Mhm.
manifesting a relationship, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. The first question that I'll ask for the Love After Loss course is what was life like before you had that course?
So I even entered that course was because the name. And I was like, okay, like I think you're aware and how I was in like a relationship for a while, but then it wasn't so good and then it ended. And I think we even talked about it at one point, how like, yeah, that person isn't in my life anymore, but I didn't exactly process and heal through it. I was kind of just like, oh, it's over. I need to get over it, whatever. Like I wasn't respecting and honoring how I felt and
Yeah.
how that situation really made me feel. And I was kind of just like trying to like, we're nowadays kind of like spiritual bypass. So I was kind of
Yeah.
just trying to bypass how I felt and kind of being like, okay, well, he's not in my life anymore. So I kind of got to get over it. And then I just call someone else and you call it a
Yeah.
day. But then
Yeah.
I realized like, it doesn't work that way. And I think one major thing that course taught me was to basically honor how I feel. And it's okay to be upset. And it's okay to feel hurt. And it's okay to even forgive myself. Because of course you could talk about like relationships are two-sided. I guess like traditional relationship, right? So like just as much as that person plays a part in things, I play a part in, what I call in and who I entertain and stuff like that. So I think it really just helped me just process and heal through that and realizing that that type of relationship is not the ending for me. And I am calling in someone because girl, I've been having dreams and stuff like that, it's been doing well.
Yes. Yes.
And these are really good feeling dreams. It's not dreams where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm reliving certain things in my dreams and I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. Like, no, these are really good feeling dreams. Even if I don't see the person's face or I don't remember it in the morning, I always feel good about it. So I feel like that's kind of a sign that I am progressing and I am calling in that person because I'm waking up happy, girl. Right?
Yes, 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 absolutely. Oh my God, that's so good. And we did talk about that. I think when we were doing private coaching, we did have like a couple conversations
Yeah.
about your dreams.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to be able to kind of like put those pieces together. I'm happy that that course is something that
Yeah.
supported you in manifesting and being more confident in that energy. I love that. Okay, so next question about the Love After Loss course. What made that course stand out from other options?
Like, the options, like options that you're offering or just options like everything
Like
else? Like,
options in general. Like other people have courses on like how to get a man, or there are other videos on the internet like how to get somebody
mhm.
else. Like.
I think for me it was just like I think your energy really resonates with mine. Like everything we talked about that before, this is your energy. Like, of course, there's other people that I follow. I follow like Amanda Francis. I follow like a bunch of people. But I think at the end of the day, it's just about the energy and whoever calls me. And I just felt like that made sense because we talked about it before. So I was just like, why not? I didn't
Yeah.
understand, but why not?
Okay,
Like
that's
I was like,
good.
it would make sense. Like we worked together before. I already know like your energy. So for me, it was just like I just felt called to do it. And I just felt like
Yeah.
it would be the best feeling option. So of course there's other people and of course I've probably done like other people's stuff, but I just think that for me at that time, I mean it's always like your energy is always just supposed to call me in.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. And it makes me so happy. And that totally brings me to like um a different point. I was realizing like, okay, because I was gonna do, there may or may not
Mhm,
be other testimonials that are coming. I mean, like, yes, there will be other testimonials that are coming from like other people. But
mhm,
anyway, I was thinking about the testimonials that I'm doing and that I'm recording. And I realized like all of these testimonials are testimonials that I already have up on my website. Like the customer client
mhm,
retention rate is kind of crazy over here. When people buy from me,
mhm,
they typically come back and buy more stuff, which makes me feel really good. But one other reason why I mentioned this was because I was watching a different testimonial from back, we might have recorded it, not you and I, but I might have recorded it in
mhm,
2020 or 2021 or something like that. And in that testimonial, she was talking about how she knew me and she liked me. And I know that you have to know about marketing because you have your own business that you're currently
mhm,
growing and expanding. So you probably know in marketing how they talk about having to grow that no trust factor type thing. You know
mhm.
what I mean? And it's just super duper interesting. And it makes me very happy that we're sitting and having these conversations, you and I, me and the other woman who I had interviewed for that testimonial. There's just this common theme of like, I know her and I like her and I trust her. And
Yeah.
that just makes me very happy. Okay, so next question. You might have already answered this. If you have anything more to say about it, I'd love to
Mhm.
hear. What makes you feel like the best about that course?
I think overall it made me feel good. Like I think just working because I think the way you set it up, again, it's your energy, I guess. Because it's just like, yeah, if I don't, because yeah, if I don't, like sometimes, like even with just YouTube videos, like sometimes I just listen to it. I might not take notes or anything, but I might just listen to it. But I think it's just how you teach and
Yeah,
how, like, it's just a message. So I think overall, like, there wasn't like anything specific that I was just like, like I just think that it was just how you taught. That's what stuck out to me.
yeah,
I think that's what it is.
absolutely. Okay,
Again, it's the
so
energy thing. Like I said, like I follow tons of people on social media, but I think it's just not like about who's like most familiar. But I think it's just more for me. It's just your energy.
yeah, totally.
That's and I just know that it works.
Yeah. Perfect. I think that's good. I think that's really good. Okay, so love after loss, check that one off the list. Next one that I would love to talk about is the how to receive course. And I'm kind of going to be asking you the same questions, but the how to receive course, that one to me feels really significant because the how to receive course, that's the course that you
Yeah,
use to manifest concert
the
tickets. So
tickets.
first of all, before we even get into any of the questions, tell me about that experience of you manifesting the concert tickets. I know that you talked about it inside of the group, but for
Mhm.
people who aren't inside of the group yet, that's inside of the
Yeah.
program, then tell us what happened. Catch us up.
Okay. So yeah, I think that was like a good stepping stone for me. But like yeah, like basically, if you don't know, I mean, obviously you guys don't know me, but my favorite band is BTS. And my favorite, like, within that group, his name is Jungkook. So I heard that he was having a concert. I didn't even like know about it. This was like the way they marketed the concert. Like you wouldn't have known he was gonna be there until like a week or two prior. So when I saw on Instagram, I was like, "Bitch, I'm gonna go."
Yeah.
But like at the time, like I didn't know how much it was. I didn't know how much the tickets were. Um, I didn't know how much the tickets were. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like so many people are gonna go to him, obviously. But I was like, no. So what I did was I just got into the receptive mode. I used the course with that. Like I think a big thing with that course was my wants and my needs are important, significant, right? So if my wants or needs are to see this man, it's significant and important. So I
Yeah.
think I think for me, it was just using that and then visualizing like, okay, this is the concert. I'm going to be there. He's going to see me. He's going to follow up. I'm just kidding. But that was how I was
But no,
going.
I know the vibe. Yeah.
But I was like, okay, like I'm gonna have fun, whether I go with people or not, I'm gonna have fun regardless. Like I just want to see him, yada yada. So I just really went into that visualization and rifting and stuff like that. I didn't
Yeah.
just that visualization of just being there and having like the best time of my life and stuff like that. And then what do you know? I got the tickets. I got an
Period.
email, your tickets are confirmed. I was like, okay, period. So it was just so fun. Like, and I actually saw him technically twice. I saw him technically twice. I saw him at this like summer concert thing, and I just saw him like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I saw him twice
Amazing.
technically.
Amazing. So
So
you
I was like,
manifested
so I was
seeing him.
like, okay,
Yeah.
twice. So it wasn't just the
Right.
first time; it was twice. So I was just like, oh my
Period.
god, like this works. But I think it's yeah, because I did the work of what I mean by work is I did the mindset work. I'm not talking about, I have to sit here and put money aside and do this and do that and try to talk to people. Like I don't gotta do all that. I just
Yeah.
went into the whole visualization and just, that feeling of like, how would I feel being there? Happy,
Yeah.
excited, time of my life. That's basically what I did. So I think the most important thing I learned from that course was my wants and needs are important, significant, and they matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes. Yep.
Whether it's, whether it's concert tickets or my business or a person or something that I want, it's all important. It doesn't matter like what it is.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, so good. So good. So good. That makes me so happy. Okay. So we've talked about that. What was it like before you got into the course? Maybe tell us about, well, whatever comes to mind is good, but I'd love to hear about your relationship with the things that you wanted and needed. Like if you didn't get into the course and you wanted to manifest the tickets, do you think you would have gotten them? Like, you know what I mean?
Truthfully, I don't think I would have received the tickets only because it was like my beliefs, right? And I think we talked about it before. Like my mindset was kind of like I was kind of like indifferent. Remember we talked about the indifference and like you shouldn't be indifferent, right? Or like sometimes the spiritual community people talk about, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like the universe will give it to you, and if it doesn't want to give it to you, then it's not meant to be. And I think that's kind of like counter. I mean, so like to me, it's like counterintuitive. It wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense that I want something but I can't have it. But I
Yeah.
think at that time, before even the course, I was kind of like in that mindset, like trying to be indifferent, to be cool, or to be like, oh no, it doesn't matter because it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I
Yeah.
think that really like helped shift it because no, like what I want is what I deserve and what I need because it's important.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't the universe give that? So I think for me, it was just like this big indifference I had, or this like belief that the universe will give it to me if it believes I deserve it or I need it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, the universe works with you. It's not to like
Yeah.
it's not to like stop you.
Yeah.
So I think I
Absolutely.
wouldn't have received it truthfully.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's so good. That's literally so freaking good. So you felt like as a consequence of going through the
Mm-hmm.
course, you feel more like you deserve the things that you enjoy. Your
Mm-hmm.
relationship with the universe has changed. So it's no longer one where you're just kind of like the little
Yeah.
poor English child, spare change. Like
No, it's more of a like a relationship of like it gives me what I want kind of thing.
period.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like I deserve what I want. It's not so much of like it's controlling something or God is being like, oh no, you can't have that now. You have to wait or
Right.
something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I deserve to receive what I want now. I deserve to get the things that I desire.
Yes.
And I really love that you talked about that indifference because we did talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like your audio kind of like got a little bit cut off there. So just in case it's not there in the replay, I'll give like a recap.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective, it was like this energy of indifference, this energy of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, I don't care. But it was kind of like being emotionally numb, not allowing yourself to fully want the things that you want and desire because maybe
Mm-hmm.
a part of you feels like you can't have it or it's not important or the universe isn't going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you really went through the course and you're like, no, this matters and it's important and I deserve to have the things that I want and desire. When you did that emotional work, when you did that mindset work, that's when you open yourself up to be able to receive as many concert tickets as you please.
Yeah.
And like
and VIP and VIP.
good, period. Was it really VIP?
It was VIP.
Oh my God, that is amazing. That is freaking amazing.
I said that too. Like I saw the general admission. I saw the general admission. I saw VIP, and I was like, "Girl, I'm VIP, so I'm getting VIP. I
Period.
got VIP."
Period. And you absolutely are. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, so I am trying to see what other questions to ask about the how to receive course. Do you feel like you answered this question already? What was your Okay, this is a question I'll ask. Was there anything inside of that course that surprised you? You were like, oh, I didn't know this would be in here, or I didn't know I would get this shift. Or did you feel like, oh, go ahead.
You can finish something.
I was gonna say, or did you kind of feel like what was on the landing page was what was in the course? I got what I expected.
I would say, yeah, I got what I expected. And I mean, I think we talked about it before, or even just in general. I feel like with the courses too, I shifted pretty fast. But I even I said even before I joined everything, I told you like I want fast, and well, not fast, like rapid,
Yeah.
like rapid growth, right? And I said that was my intention coming in. I was like, I'm gonna work through all this stuff. I'm gonna have rapid expansion growth. I think that's exactly what I got, not just in that course, but that part was like really me because I was like, girl, I got those fucking tickets. That fucking works.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was more like, I think, well, that was like a changing point, right? Like getting, like that was like nature for me, at least, right? But I think, just overall, the courses, but especially that one, is just the rapid growth within it. Because, you know,
Yeah.
people can, like, you know, we can have these courses and people be like, oh, like, you know, this and this, but I do think like it helped shift things pretty fast. Like I remember I was working on that at the same time that we had one of our sessions, and I think I don't know if you remember we talked about how in my business I was kind of like nervous about charging a certain amount of money for like whatever course or whatever session I want to do. But within like 5 minutes, you helped me shift that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was 5 minutes. I looked at the time. It was like
Yeah.
like I told you what I told you what I was concerned about, and then we talked about it within like a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, like we shifted that. And like, to me that was like, I mean, it's not crazy because I know that's your power, but I'm saying like to me, like to anybody else that'd be
Yeah.
crazy. Like, you know, some
Yeah.
people would be like, oh, it takes me like weeks or months just to like get that belief. But for me, it literally took 5 minutes.
Yes. Oh my God,
And I
that's
didn't
so
feel
good.
and you know, I
Yeah.
didn't feel like, you know, I felt like kind of nervous at first, but then once you were done, I was like, no, bitch, like, I'm gonna charge that amount.
Period. Period. And it's deserved. So the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about that, I'm super duper happy that you brought that up because that's what I was thinking about when I was preparing for this. I'm like, that's one of my favorite moments that has happened like in our latest coaching container that we did, because I remember I was sitting there in that session and I think right after you experienced the shift. So for those of you, like, just to make sure that we're all caught up, we were talking about the how to receive course. I think we're done talking about that now. I asked her what was something that really like surprised her about the course. And then she said like the rapid growth and expansion within the course, but also within everything that we do together is something that really surprised her. And so she mentioned an experience that we had where we were coaching one-on-one, and she's expanding her business now to do sex coaching. Is that an appropriate phrase?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's expanding her business now to do sex coaching, and she was bumping up against some limiting beliefs surrounding pricing, being able to charge more money, being able to make more money. And within 5 minutes, according to her timing, the belief was totally shifted and she's charging more money, making more money as she deserves to be taken care of, period. And the reason why that's so amazing and the reason why it shifted hella shit for me too was because I was in that session and I was listening to myself speak and I was like, first of all, damn, this is good. And I was like, second of all, I need to charge more money ASAP. One of the
And I agree.
videos, thank you. I recorded a vlog I recorded a vlog. Not the one that'll be posted at some point today, but one that'll be posted tomorrow. And I talk about my newest program. It's Visual Vamp Up, and it's the fucking shit, okay? Everything that I do is the shit. What can I say? Like, I just feel like the proof speaks for itself, literally. So I'm like creating this new program, and I like have the outline for the program out, and I could not bring myself to actually work on the freaking program because I just was like, it was just one of those things, you know, you tell yourself you're going to work on it, you're like later,
Yeah,
later, and I'm like missing
that was
deadlines.
me. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? There's obviously some limiting belief, something going on. I realize a part of me is like, I'm not going to work on this course and charge $30 for this fucking course. Like, it's not happening for me. Like, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to, it's like, it doesn't move me. I need 200 an occasion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so that energy and vibe, I was like, okay, oh my God. I'm sorry. I just had another completely different shift in my mind that is completely unrelated, but it brings me so much happiness and joy inside. Okay, sorry, focusing. So anyway, so I was like, okay, I have to charge more money for this. And when I decided that I was going to charge more money, that's when I felt super duper inspired to move forward. And one of the reasons why my energy was like, I'm not going to move. You have to charge more money for this. I deserve to make more money. One of the reasons why I had that reaction was because of the work we did in that session with you. Working with you, and the way that I broke down the reason why you should make more money, it shifted something within me where I was just like, hold on, this is the reason we should all be making more money. I was like, yeah, no. And that makes a lot of sense. And I really have to stick to that. So it was really, really powerful. And that's something that's really amazing about working with clients, is that sometimes helping them and shifting them also helps and shifts you. So that's all that I wanted to share for that. Okay, how to receive. I feel like we talked about everything there. Also, I changed the price on the course to $300. And you said earlier when I was like, I should charge more money, you were like, I should. So I just, I want to know, do you agree? Because I think that other people, I know that you didn't pay 300 for the course. I had changed the price after you enrolled. I think you were one of the first people who enrolled. But for the other people who are watching this video, you know, in the future, whenever I post it, and they're like $300 for this course, I don't know if it's worth that investment, blah, blah, blah. What would you say to those people?
Um, to me, the 300 shouldn't like be a stopping factor in that. Because for me, I was surprised when I got it for that price. I was like, girl, why is she charging that amount? She should be charging way more.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's just like, for me, it's an investment, right? It's not whether you charge me. I forgot what I paid for it, but whatever you charge me, then even now I will still pay it, because for me, one, it's an investment. Two, I don't think they ever expire. We can always go back to it,
Right.
right? So I'm just like, it's like, oh, I need to do this, and then before it expires, right? Like, I've been in courses where people will give something, but then they won't let you do it again. So I think that the 300 shouldn't be a factor. I think it's very much worth 300 and more,
Thank
because
you.
it's an investment. Like, you can always go back to it. Like, just like I even have my notebook right here, and it has all the old stuff I was working on. And even then, like, I think that also in your courses you have like journal prompts and stuff like that. You could do journal prompts a million times.
Yeah.
You know, that you could write something down. Like, I feel like I always have something new each time. Like, I've done, like, in my personal sessions, you gave me journaling prompts, right? And then even like a week later, I do the prompts again. I have totally different answers. It's all the same thing when it comes to like my desires and all that, but it's always something different that comes up that I'm like, okay, like that's probably something I should shift, or oh, that's something that I want. I want to add that. So I think it's always, I think every day we grow, right? So I think no
Yeah.
matter what, like, it's an investment. I think investments, they never, how do I word this? Like, it's an investment. And I think that, you know, we change every day. So when you're working through that, it's like, I just, you really do, you learn more and more about yourself. So to me,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should look at 300 and be like, oh no, because I should just go with like this other course. Like, no, I think it's very much worth 300 or
Yeah.
more. I was surprised when I got it. I was like, she just charge more.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think what you're trying to say is that there is a very high ROI on this course.
Yes.
There's a very high return. You're getting a lot of value for this.
Right.
And I'm very happy that you said that, because the prizes won't be 300 forever, but right now we're good with 300. We can change our reality with 300 per sale.
Right.
So that's we're okay with that right now. But that was so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. That makes me feel really happy and really good. And I think this is a concept that I introduced in that vlog that I keep mentioning that I'm going to be sharing on Monday. And I said, my courses are like a renewable energy resource.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't stop. You just keep going back to it, keeps getting better. So I love that you said that. I love that that's the experience that you're having, like chef's kiss. Okay. So we talked about how to receive. Next course that we got to talk about is the I can and I should course, which is all about self-esteem. It's all about believing in yourself. I have a snapshot from a comment that you put on my YouTube about going back through the course and having a breakthrough. I have that on my landing page for the visual vamp up, because I literally sat and I visualized, like, in my manifestations and like the things that I'm creating, I'm like, my content, my like social media and all of that, it's a living, breathing space for testimonials. You go into my comment section, people nonstop, oh my God, this was so amazing, it changed my life. So when I got that comment, I was like, yes. Like, it was so good to, obviously it's so good that you're getting an amazing result, but it's so good that I'm getting an amazing result. And it's just good results for everybody. So with the I can and I should course, tell me what's your I think you've been doing a really good job at the beginning of this, just kind of giving us a good like view, like a good summary. So what's your summary? Life before, this is what I loved about it, this is what I got from it.
So I want to say like life before. I'll say like, my self-esteem wasn't, how I say it, like, going back to like the whole like spiritual bypassing or trying to bypass how I felt. Like, I think I didn't realize how like low my self-esteem was until like I really like started doing like the, because we've done like work before, but I think like this time is when I really like delved into it, and I didn't realize how like low my self-esteem was. Like, it was lower, girl. Like, I didn't even think it was that low, but you don't really think, I wasn't actively thinking about it. It's something that's subconscious that you have to like go into. So I didn't realize like how low it was, and how um how low it was, how like I didn't really understand like how I was feeling and stuff like that. Like, how can I say it? Like, yeah, the whole like self-esteem, like obviously like our self-esteem and our self-worth, how we feel, how we view ourselves ties into like our desires, right? So if you don't feel, you know, not that you have to be your absolute best like all the time, of course, our emotions are there. But I think like overall, if you don't feel like you deserve, good things in your life, or you don't feel like you deserve your desires, stuff like that, of course it's gonna play a part in you trying to manifest. You can't manifest what you want if you're feeling like, no, I need, so I don't deserve this man, or I don't deserve this job, or I don't deserve all these sales in my business, type of thing. And that's kind of things that like when I really sat down, I was like, wow, like this is why I'm struggling, because I'm not delving into like how I feel. And that's why I use like the whole like thinking wheel thing and the feelings wheel thing, and I was just like, wow, like, I think it was just a big realization for me. Because you can walk around and say, "Oh yeah, I'm the baddest bitch out here," and this and this and that. But do you feel that way? You can't, like, I think say you can't. That's saying like, fake it till you make it. But then it's also like, how can I say it? Like, you can't
energy doesn't
fake how you feel. Yeah, energy doesn't lie, right? So you can walk around and be like, "Well, I'm the baddest bitch. I get any person I want. I get this and this." But when you really look at it, is that really showing? Like, if you assess yourself and you look at everything that you want and it's not there yet, there's a reason. So I think for me, it was kind of like that realization, like, oh shit, like, I want to work on this. I don't have to work on this. I want to work on
Yeah.
this. I think for me, that was just a big thing that I realized, like, my self-esteem wasn't there. How I viewed myself was pretty low. So I think after the course, I think it just again reminded me how like what I want, what I need is important, significant, and a lot of childhood stories play to like your self-esteem, and stuff like that. So I think it's just like a lot of like inner child work. Like I probably did the most inner child work in my life these past couple months. Like, yeah, of course I did it before, but I think like now is like going deep
Yeah.
into it. And of course, like
Yeah.
I'll have those feelings of like, I think it's kind of like in the beginning, I have those feelings of like, oh, like guys, we talk about like procrastinating, like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow because like I'm a scared girl. Like, you know, it's okay. Like that was just how I felt. Like it's okay to feel that way, but you
Yeah.
know, like kind of like not wanting to get into it. So I was just kind of like trying to ignore it. But I was like, no, we're not gonna ignore it. So I think, of course, I cried a lot because you know, releasing all that. So I think, you know,
Yeah.
at this course, it really made me realize like, girl, I'm the baddest bitch, but I'm gonna feel like the baddest bitch. I'm not gonna just say
Yeah.
it. I'm a,
Yeah.
you know, embody it. So I think also like embodying, like reminding me to embody. Like you can say all you want, but energy doesn't lie. So I
Yeah.
think for me, it just really helped me like realize how I felt. Like for example, like that comment I made onto your YouTube. I forgot which YouTube video it was, but it was one of those like that thing you're doing. I'll ever do like the 30-day thing challenge.
Yeah.
From
Yes. Yes. The daily
okay, so it's
shift.
30 days. Okay,
Yes.
so yes, it was. I think it was one of your daily shift videos, and actually that day you posted it, I think I was having like a really like rough day. I mean, like you said, I am a sex coach. I want to be like for my thing. I'm putting it out there. I want to be like the world's greatest sex coach. Like I want you to
Period.
hear sex coach, and you can look at me, okay?
Period. Exactly. That's
And
yes.
but I think that day I was just like just limiting beliefs, and then your video came up, and I used your, and it reminded me about the course, and I was like, okay, like why am I feeling? It was kind of like a feeling of like I'm not feeling how I want to be. Like I'm not feeling that way. I feel like I'm not putting in the work. I feel like I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. So it was just a very like pessimistic kind of day I was having. I saw your video, and then it reminded me about the I Can I Should course, and I think I'm almost done with it. But I think like that day ended up like kind of fitting what I needed. So I was like working through it, and I felt so much better after doing it. Like doing the journal
Yeah.
prompts, and you know, I going through the journal prompts, and like, you know, what's that saying? Like how we feel, we gotta honor how we feel, but like, is what you're thinking really true? Like, do you really think you're as bad as you think you are? And I was like,
Yeah.
no, like I don't think I'm having like a pessimistic, rough kind of like day, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean like it doesn't mean it's the truth. It doesn't mean like I'm at like what's that imposter syndrome? Like it doesn't feel like I'm doing that, or you know, every day I'm putting in the work. So I think
Yeah.
that's really what helped me shift.
Yeah.
Something like
So
that, like
good.
me just going through the course, I think it was like an hour-long video in the course. That hour-long video helped me shift everything. So
Yeah. Perfect. So good. So I know that I think that you said that you're still working through the course. So are you like not like I know you always go back to the course,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but do you feel like you're still working through the content?
Um, like I just have one more module to do,
Yeah.
and then I'm
Okay.
done. But I
Yeah.
always go back anyway. I always go
Right.
back. Like, well, any of
Yeah.
the courses, I always go back. Even though I finished like the other two, I always go back to them.
Yeah, no, that's really good though. And I like that you're taking your time to go through the
Yeah,
modules. I
like
think
I
that's
don't want
really
to
good.
rush. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
And I think that that last module is just talking about like subconscious mind stuff.
Yeah, the
I think,
rewiring. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So great stuff on that. Awesome sauce. I'm trying to think if there's any more questions that I really have about that one. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Hmm. No, I think that was pretty good. You talked to us about how that course, the um I can and I should course really helped you
Mhm.
to embody that energy, really helped you to
Yeah.
tap into that vibration of the version of yourself who is more confident in herself.
Hmm.
That's what you're
Yeah.
worked on the
Yeah.
most.
More confidence and like self-trust kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like believing that I can get what I want when I want, no questions asked. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and just embodying that because again, like energy doesn't lie.
Yeah. So would you say how would you describe how you feel today after taking all of these courses, how you feel
Mhm.
today versus how you felt before you got into them?
I would say now, I'm very good at embodying it more. Because again, like, I could say and do this, I, I could say this and this, but do I feel that way?
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's really like tapping into the vibration of that, and also like trusting myself more, like doing, like, doing things that, or doing or saying things, even when it comes to like for example, we talked earlier about, like, let's say you have like a old thought that comes up, right? Like for me, I am very good now at, like, when I have an old thought, I either let it finish, or even sometimes like my mind kind of just stops it midway, and my mind is like, oh no, that's the old story, like that's
Yeah.
old, girl.
Neural
Or
pathways
like,
firing. Yes.
yeah, yes, I feel like actually that's a big thing I want to get into, was like, I really feel like I rewired my brain and
Yeah.
much better and faster than before. Because we could talk about neural pathways and all that ground on the science. I just know it works. but like, yeah, I think for real, like, that really happened because I'm able to, like, if I have a living belief, I either let it go, I either like let it pass, and then I'm like, no, like that's the old story. Or even like now I can stop in midway.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't have to do anything. It just kind of stops midway, and it's like, girl, that's the old story. Like, that's old. Like, that's not happening. That's not happening right now. So I think
Yeah.
that really helped me too
Good.
with like the whole rewiring.
Good, good. So that's really powerful because when we're shifting our reality and we're
Mhm,
creating something completely new, I think that
mhm,
transitional period is the period that most of us struggle the most with, right?
mhm,
We're deciding on what we get to have, we're affirming for new shit, but then those old stories and those old
mhm,
thoughts come up. And sometimes it can really be a battle that we have in our own mind
mhm,
of like, well, I don't know what to do. I feel kind of stuck. And now you're having this experience, or you are just having this experience as a
mhm.
consequence of the courses, where it's just kind of like, no, it's easy for me to differentiate between what's true and what's not true. It's easy for me to
Yeah.
recognize this is a limiting belief. This is not something that's serving me. This is something that I'm choosing to
Mhm,
release. And it's easy for me to just let it go. It's easy for me to just be like, nope, releasing that, not true.
mhm,
And telling yourself what's really true. And I think that's really powerful. I think for me, that's something that I really started mastering this year too. So it's really nice that my courses and my programs that I was recording when I was in that energy of really mastering and understanding, it's nice that
mhm,
that energy translates and my customers get to have that as well. That's super dope. Okay, so we talked about all of those courses. I personally feel like all of the miniature courses come together and they work really
mhm,
harmoniously with each other. Do you feel that way too? Do you feel like they're complementary?
mhm. Yeah, I think they are complementary. Cause I think they all connect in some way, and I feel like if I only had like one, I would have been like, okay. It's like, and on the that thing would feel like incomplete. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it all ties together. Like, obviously, love after loss is like processing, things I've been through in a child, stuff like that. How to
Yeah,
receive is to be open to what you want, and then I can
yeah,
and I should. It's not just like building up yourself, how you do yourself, and like how you do your desires, stuff like that. I think that all ties in regardless. So I think
yeah.
it would be smart to have all three of them.
Yes,
And I
I
feel like if I
do
only had
think
one
it
or
would be
two, I've been
smart.
like, oh, okay. Like, I think if I only had like one, I feel like if I only had like one, I would have been like, okay. But I think all of that ties together into getting
Yeah.
your reality.
Yeah, I think it's like they all come together to give you a total transformation
Right,
versus
right,
just one transformation by itself. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sounds super good. So we talked about that. Last thing that we're going to talk about now is the actual coaching that we did most
Mhm,
recently. So we kind of really talked about everything, it feels like. But most specifically, this last round that we worked together with in coaching, you were a part of my latest mastermind that I did, which was super
mhm,
duper awesome. And inside of the mastermind, one thing that we really focused on was the coaching business that you are beginning
mhm,
and the clients that you're getting and the clients
mhm,
that you're getting that are also getting good results and like all of that stuff. So
mhm,
I'd love to hear more about that. Where were you at the beginning when we first started working together in terms of your coaching versus where you
mhm.
are now? I'd love to hear about that.
So, before that, I would say, like, first of all, sex coaching is more of a newer thing that I decided, like, I feel like that really resonates with me. Obviously, my business in general is sexuality themes, sex themes.
Yeah.
It's very sex positive, no matter who you are, even though I kind of focus more on women,
Uh-huh.
it's positive. Like I even have men commenting on it, so you know,
Yeah.
calls them in too. And so I feel
Yeah.
like they probably resonate with something, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, it was just kind of like a transition into, I'm like, okay, like I like talking about sex, I like educating people. I feel like sexuality is just something that people are not educated in. Like I've been hearing the craziest stories about
Yeah.
things that, like to me, it would be like common sense or something that I know. But then it made me realize, like, oh my God, there's people in the world that don't know these things. That
Right.
they've been kept ignorant, or they're ashamed about it. I think a big thing that I want to work on, like I want to work on a course eventually. Like I want to do a course and I want to do it about shame
Yeah.
around sexuality.
Yeah.
Because I think, obviously it comes from like childhood and how like we were taught and like your parents and what they thought about it or didn't tell you about it. And then
Right.
it's a whole thing we get into. Like how
Yeah.
people like how kids are exposed to it, maybe not so healthy ways and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, and obviously it affects you when you're older, when you do become a
Uh-huh.
sexually active adult.
Yeah.
But for me, I think before was just like, it wasn't even an idea at first. I kind of just had like the lip gloss and the blogs and stuff like that. But I was like, no, like I really want to get more into it. So I think beforehand, I was kind of just like nervous when it came to coaching people because I'm like, oh my God, I'm being a fucking coach. Like, I didn't think about that. Like, me being a coach, I never really thought about it. I mean, in a way, you're kind of like teaching people, right? I'm writing blogs, but
Yeah.
like to like talk to someone one on
Yeah.
one, I was very like nervous about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like, I never even talked about it before too. Like, I was always nervous. I was like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. And like, what if I tell someone the wrong thing, or what if I say something and like they get offended or something? Like, oh, there's something like I was having all these thoughts. And
Yeah.
then when we had like our personal sessions, you were talking to me about no, you don't need to fit a certain like standard or look for people to come to you and want your guidance and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then we talked about the pricing and all that. And I think that really just helped me shift things. But again, I think it was just like a whole like self trusting that I had
Yeah.
going on. I think it was just more like kind of like hiding, like what's that saying? Like hiding myself because I was like afraid, like oh my gosh, like like because it's something new, right? Like I never thought about that. I don't even want to put myself into because I think it's important. So I think for me it was just like shifting like my self trust and believing that like no, I don't have to fit a certain standard to have people, come to me and want my guidance and want my knowledge about sexuality. So
Yeah. Yeah. So at the beginning, when we started working together, were you offering sex coaching or were you just
no, so that's
considering
something
it?
that um I think I was kind of like it was coming to fruition. Like I wasn't really thinking about it until like we
Yeah.
did the stuff later on, and I was just like I just thought about it one day, and I was like, oh, like I should do sex coaching. Like
Yeah.
I want to teach people like sexual health and sexual advice and help
Uh-huh.
them be more confident. Because for me, girl, you already know me, I'm not ashamed. Like
Yes.
you see my memes on Instagram every show on Instagram. You see my memes. I'm like I because to me it's like nothing, but I know to other people they would like people would even comment under my stuff or even like message me. They'd be like, oh my God, girl, like I wish I could post that, but I'm too scared. And I'm like, girl, fucking post that. Like who's gonna say something to you? Send me
Yeah.
them, so I'll say something to them. And
Yeah.
even and then a good shift that we had was like yeah, like the whole like pricing thing and even like even while we were starting to do the coaching, I started getting people like DMing me that they wanted the coaching. Like for example, that girl that I told you about, not to like put her business out there, but I had someone that I'm familiar with and she like first we were talking about something and then all of a sudden we started talking about, like sexuality and stuff like that. I very helped her talk through that because at first she was kind of nervous about it and I was like, girl, it's me. Like you can tell me anything.
Right.
So we were just talking, like I really helped her like shift her like shame around like her sexuality and like especially his woman's sexuality, like stuff that she went through maybe in like her childhood or teenage years about like how girls should act and how girls should be. And I just think that and like one of the things that she said to me was like, oh my God, you did more than like answer my question. I wish you the best in your sex coaching journey. And like that's like I didn't think I said anything extraordinary, but to her I guess it was everything. So I did that
Yeah.
felt really good. And then I did a giveaway one time and someone won the giveaway and I helped her when it came to like anxiety with like her partnership and stuff like that. I think she wants to do and she was kind of nervous about it because she has anxiety and stuff like that. I helped her like calm down. I gave her advice. I gave her product recommendations, stuff like that. And she said the same thing. She was like, "Oh, you're very knowledgeable in this stuff." And like to me, at the time, I'm like, I'm not saying anything extraordinary. But I just like, but then I realized like to people that's like a major shift to them. So it just made me
Yeah.
really appreciate more that like I care enough to help people. So that was
Yeah.
just like a shift that we had.
Yeah. And your work is important. Your work is really
Right.
important. It would be really something that I would suggest, like outside of the testimonial,
Mm-hmm.
would be going through the how to receive course from
Mm-hmm.
the perspective of your work
Mm-hmm.
being important, your work being significant, your
Mm-hmm.
work mattering. That's what I would highly suggest. That's something that I've been working on. I actually am going to come out with a new program. I don't know why I'm whispering to you like I'm not going to post this publicly, but I'm literally going to oh, I can't say it because somebody might steal it. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm working on a new program based on what I'm working on now. But one of the
Mm-hmm.
major things that I've been shifting is like my work is important and my work is significant.
Right.
And it sounds like, as you're talking, you're like, I'm just telling her this and this and this. And like, it's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal, but it is a big deal to
Yeah.
her. So having that perspective within yourself
Yeah.
of like, my work is important and my work is really
Yeah.
significant. And the things that I have to say are really important.
Yeah.
Like that would be super duper great for you to tap
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Like I was saying, like, yeah, like I was saying, like, I think at that moment it was like a shift for me because I was
yeah,
like, oh wow, like to me, like me saying like I could talk to someone about it. I'm like, yeah, like like yeah, I'm saying everything. And like to them, it's like, wow, like this is amazing. I'm like, oh really? Like I'm that
yeah.
damn good. Okay. I'll
So
definitely,
for you, you're saying it was more a realization of how
yeah, it was like a
important and significant
realization.
it was. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I get that.
It was like
Okay.
realization because like yeah, like they're saying like, oh my God, like you're helping me so much. And like at the time, and we talked about this before, sometimes like in our minds we focus on like other things that we're not taking into account, like that we're changing people's, lives and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So I think for me, like those two experiences that I had, I think I posted it on my Instagram. I think I added it to my website. I think I did that. Because for me, I was like, wow, like this is a lot. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
But I'll
Okay.
definitely like still do that course anyway too.
Yeah.
I'll always
Well,
revisit the courses.
yeah, I'm sure that you will. It was just a suggestion. But I'll
Yeah.
definitely make sure that in the description box, people who want to learn more about the work that you do and want to learn more about like sex coaching and stuff, you'll have
Oh,
to
thank you.
DM me some links and I'll put them in the
Mhm.
description. So whoever's watching this, if you want more of Brianna's amazing energy and you want sex coaching and all that good stuff from her, you can check that out. And she also has cosmetics that she sells.
Yeah.
So you can go and you can get your live and read some of her blog posts, which are amazing. So, okay, great stuff there. I think that was it. At the very beginning, when we worked together, we were kind of thinking, contemplating, should I do the sex coaching thing? We
Mhm.
worked through some fears that you had
Mhm.
surrounding, do I have to go to school before I can actually start taking
Mhm.
clients? And then it was like, okay, what I have to say is valuable, and just like
Mhm.
believing in myself more. And then it was like, okay, well, this is how much I'm charging. And I think
Mhm.
the really beautiful thing about it is that was one of those moments where like having a psychic medium coach is really the shit, because we were in that session and I think you were like, okay, like I'm good. Like I think in that session, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I
Mhm.
think you were just like, I think I feel good. And then I asked the question and I was like, okay, how much are you charging? And then that's when we ended up getting into that like whole conversation. I think that's how that happened. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that was like a really cool experience. And that's one thing that I really love, being able to like tap into the energy and the vibe, because I'm like, yeah, that's good and that's clear. But also there's this little energy over here that we should totally shift and release.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being such like a powerful moment. So that was really good. And one day I think if I do create, because I know that I'll create some sort of like business courses at some point, I probably will take that little tiny snippet, those 5 minutes, and I'll probably like put it, because that was really fucking
Plus, yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that. We talked about pricing. We talked about getting her to a price that would actually support her in being able to pay rent at the apartment that she's desiring and she's manifesting. So
Mm-hmm.
when we worked together, she went from, I kind of want to do sex coaching, to, okay, I'm doing sex coaching, to attracting clients. She manifested clients, people coming in,
Yeah.
receiving her advice, giving them amazing results, getting amazing feedback from them. She's currently growing and expanding that. And then we also worked on calling in clients, paying her more money so that
Mm-hmm.
she can receive and get the lifestyle that she needs, that supports her and supports her well-being. So that's kind of the main thing that we worked on. Would you say
Mm-hmm.
that that's accurate?
Yes, exactly. And I think calling those specific people that I did the little like courses with, that was just confirmation for me.
Yeah.
Because then when I came with it was a confirmation. I think it's just
Yeah.
confirmation like how good I am. And like I was like, okay, like there's people out there that want, you know, the work, the service, and they want to work through their, and that's what for me too, is like also people that are willing and able, ready, willing and able is the word, to
Yeah.
like work through their stuff. Because I
Yeah.
didn't call in people that were like, oh, you know, I don't know about that. Like I called in people that were like ready to hear what I had to say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they wanted and they implemented it.
Yeah. And that is huge.
So
That is
yeah.
freaking huge. Yeah. I
So I
love
called
that for
exactly what I
you.
wanted.
Yeah. And that's so crazy because that specific switch was something that I spent a lot of years in my
Mhm.
business working through. Sometimes feeling like people didn't want what I have to offer. And then
Mhm.
other times feeling like, oh, people don't actually really want to heal. So it's so beautiful that you're able to just like, oops, excuse me, I dropped my headphones. It's so beautiful that you're able to just like, boom, get in there, shift that energy quickly, and call in
Mhm.
exactly what you want to desire. Like, chef's kiss. I
Mhm.
love it. Okay. Before we hop off of here, are there any last comments, anything that's on your mind that you would like to
Mhm.
share about working with me?
Mhm.
Or, oh, okay, hold on. Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So, working with me one on one, coming into the courses, I know you kind of talked about it, but maybe you have more to say. What would you say to somebody who was on the fence about working with me one
Mhm.
on one or buying one of my courses?
Well, yeah, I kind of got into it before. I think it's just because we worked together. I think yeah, we started working like 2021 kind of thing. So
Uh-huh.
I'm already familiar with you. But I think it's not just a familiarity. I think it's just the energy. Again, I follow so many people on Instagram and like people I've seen everywhere that you know they offer courses and all this other stuff. But I think again, it's just the energy and what resonates best with me. I feel like it's mass energy. Again, for me, it's never about how much it is. It's never about that. It's her work and it's her course, and I know it's gonna work for me.
Yeah.
It's not even about like take money out the equation. Like take it out the equation for like a minute. I think it's just more about like, yeah, it's just your energy. And I feel like again, like all the courses, I mean the ones you have now, like the three courses, they really work and coincide with each other. Because I feel like if I only had one, I would have had like not say like I would have like missing parts or anything, but it's just I feel like everything just works together and I had like a whole transformation. Because again, as we were working, I called in people that wanted my work and I called in concert tickets. I called in like really good friendships. Like I have like a newer friend now that she's really into this type of stuff. She's
Yeah.
into like the whole um like manifestation, working through inner child work, and like we have conversations for like days about it. So not just like that stuff, like also calling in like we call it your tribe, like people that
Yeah.
kind of really just fit in with what you're learning and what you want to do and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty powerful stuff. Like like
Yeah.
I just think that, you know, it works. Like I'm not saying it works as like we know each other and stuff like that. I want to be saying that. I think it just works because I mean I have the evidence to show it. Like I've had, you know, my manifestations come true. I have a dreams, girl. Like, come on, like stuff that wasn't happening before. Like I just feel more confident now, and I feel like I trust myself better now too. Like I'm not so much like I think a lot of the insecurity came from like, can I trust myself to get this done? Can I trust myself to call this in, kind of thing. And I think the course really helped me build that up. And of course, working with your children, you can't really I think what you said, I think a good thing you said, I don't know if it's a video or something you said. It might have been like a daily shift. You talked about like a lifestyle, right? Like you're not just manifesting like a man, you're not just manifesting a bag, you're not just manifesting some money, like you're manifesting a lifestyle. And that's kind of like my intention is to manifest stability and security and a whole lifestyle. It's not just to get one or two things and call it a day. I mean, of course, that's valid if you want to do that, but just a whole lifestyle change is kind of like what this
Yeah.
helped me with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my God, so good. This was so freaking good. This was so amazing. Thank you for taking the time to actually sit and
Oh.
have this conversation with me and give me this feedback. This has literally been so amazing and so good. And so many of the things that you said and that you talked about, I was like, yes, manifestation is real, because
Yes, it
these are the
is.
conversations that like I've been having with myself when I'm thinking about my audience, when I'm
Mhm.
thinking about my customers, and like, why do I want people to, buy from me and all that stuff? I'm like, my energy just sticks out. My energy just resonates with them. Like, I, not to give away too much of the sauce for the people who
Yeah.
are watching this and the free content, but like sometimes I like see like I can see my courses, like the little thumbnail for my courses, you know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
just like imagine them having this like energy that like radiates out of them, that just
Yeah.
kind of like, just kind of like calls people like into it, and like, you know what I mean? And so it's like,
Hmm.
oh, like it works. Manifestation is real. That's all. That's the
Yeah, it
conclusion
does.
that we're coming to. And one other thing that I really took away from what you said is you guys have to get all of the courses. You have to get every single one of them. Thank
Yeah.
you. Like that's it. That's the conclusion that
Yeah.
we came to, every single one of them. And I think it really is true. That was one of the intentions that I set, having a whole bunch of little bundles that could kind of
Hmm.
come together and be one big whole course. And I mean, if you only need to focus on self-esteem, then like boom, you have that. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
works for everybody, but if you want the full transformation, then it's there for you. Okay, I'm done talking
Hmm.
now. I'm gonna hit stop recording,
Hmm.
and yeah, that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching on
Hmm.
YouTube. Bye. Oh, by the way, there will be links in the description box for those of you who want to check out Brianna's amazing, wonderful work. Okay, bye.